Well, I don't know how long it's going to be, but not that long. As you can hear, my voice is still not 100%. I had the flu last week, flu B, and man, I'll tell you what, I'd rather have that other thing than that. That kicked my butt for a week, and I'm still, like I said, I don't have the headaches anymore, but I still got a really nasty cough, and obviously my voice is still kind of messed up. But I want to talk about the Texas wildfire. But before I do that, I want to introduce you guys to our new friend here in our backyard here. Our brand new friend, in addition to our ranch. He he's still a little skittish, but he was eating raisins out of my hands just before. He had eaten raisins out of my hand and stuff like that. But he's pretty friendly. But anyway, so just wanted to introduce you to our new critter here. For some reason, he seems to like the fence line. But anyway, so as you guys know, there was a wildfire, actually a couple wildfires up in the Texas Panhandle yesterday. And a lot of people lost their houses. One family we know in particular, Brother David Grisham, owned a house up there. And at that house, his son, his daughter-in-law, and their 5 grandchildren live there. Well, they had to evacuate yesterday, and the house is gone. I have pictures posted on the community section of the YouTube channel here. And I have a short video we made for Instagram as well to show the damage and whatnot. Now, the reason I made this video is because this is a brother in Christ, okay? He lost his home, and like he said, insurance will cover a lot of it, but it will not cover everything. Not to mention that the 5 grandchildren have lost all of their personal possessions. Clothes, we have a lot of clothes for them, but toys, games. Can you say hi, Mar? Hi, Mar? But like I said, so his house burned yesterday. They were given very short notice, to evacuate, and they did. And as they evacuated, Brother Shane and he went to look at the ring cam and saw his front yard on fire. Hey, sorry, the dogs are messing with the kangaroo. And then all of a sudden the ring camera went out. And then the fire department called them later on and said everything's gone. In addition to that, they lost their cat and they lost all their chickens. But what occurred to me was this: is we put up something yesterday to ask our brothers and sisters in the Lord, and anybody else for that matter, if they could help with our website, our ministry website. Because people do donate through our ministry website and Venmo and whatnot. And we did have some donations to the point where it's able to get them a hotel for a few days and some food for a few days and whatnot. And we're very thankful for that and very blessed. But it occurred to me that as we as Christians, we are so excited. We get a few $100, we get $1,000. We get so excited over those donations like that. When you talk about somebody who lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in his home and possessions. And we get so excited for peanuts. And then you go look at the GoFundMe for Next Benedict, who was the 16-year-old non-binary girl who passed away, and we don't know why. There was that's the girl that was in that fight in the bathroom that she started. But anyway, they started a GoFundMe for her, even though she's gone. There was no monetary loss or anything like that, but they raised over $150,000 for what? We're not really sure, just because. And it occurred to me that the LGBT will come together to give hundreds of thousands of dollars for a teenager who is no longer here, but yet we have a brother in Christ who loses everything, and we're thankful for a couple hundred, $1,000, even $1,000 when we get that. And you wonder why people view Christianity in such a in such a way. Why would anybody? I want you to think about the world's perspective on this. And I want you to think about how the world looks at stuff like this and sees it. That you see a brother who is out there, took photos and videos of what remains of his house and his outbuildings and barn and whatnot. And everybody prayers, and that prayers are appreciated, But he's lost everything. They lost everything. And you realize Christians, we get excited for a few $100s. And then you go and look at the LGBT stuff, and they're giving hundreds of thousands of dollars for literally nothing. Now, the world from the outside, now from a Christian perspective, it is pretty pathetic. I'm just going to say it. Not only that, but in our own community right now, we have people who call themselves Christians, who are attacking David, saying that because David affiliates with me and because David, rebukes sin properly, that God burned his house down. I mean, even LGBT people don't do stuff like this. Some of them do, but, a lot of them will say, oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry that happened. We've actually had a couple of the LGBT people that stalk me actually reach out and say, oh, sorry that happened to David, even though they don't like us. But then you have some fake Christians, and it's just stupid, by the way. God did not cause the wildfire. It's just it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but it happened. But regardless, the world sees this. You see fake Christians attacking a man who just lost his house because he's just a scumbag. Then you see the man, you see the damage, and Christians are just, we ignore it. And we make all kinds of excuses to why we don't give. Oh, the Joel Osteen, the Stephen Furticks. When does it come through people's heads that not every Christian is like that? When does it get through your head, Christian, whoever you are, that not every single person who runs a ministry or takes donations lives in a 25,000 square foot mansion, pools and else? I mean, I got a 2012 Chevy Tahoe. David's got a 2000 something truck. He bought himself a new Honda Odyssey to travel around the country to preach, and we do that. None of us live in glamorous homes. Our house is fine for my family. Nothing, spectacular. Normal house. What? But when a brother in Christ, house burns down or tragedy happens to any one of our own, we don't do anything. Some people do, and don't let me take away from those who have, because let me tell you, Angie and Shane absolutely appreciate it because they were to buy dinner for their kids last night and else because they couldn't get out of Borger, Texas, because the roads were all closed. They couldn't get out. So they got stuck staying in a hotel there because all the road closures. But again, I want you to look at this from the outside perspective here. You got LGBT maps, literally people that roam around the country trying to turn kids into sex objects, and they'll raise in days, hundreds of thousands of dollars for really nothing. But as Christians, we can't even help our brother out who lost everything. I've got teenagers here, and you ever ask a kid how when they see stuff like this, because believe it or not, our kids watch. And I was talking to my wife yesterday about this, saying, how we oh my gosh, look at that, we got a few $100s, we got $1,000, wow. And for us as street preachers, as Christians, we're like, that's amazing. But then you look at the big picture, realize how stupid that is, that, we as a community, we went from the book of Acts where everybody came together to help each other, meet each other's needs, to where we have to, call people out for being, just not good stewards. And again, it's not something I like talking about particularly. I wish we didn't have to. But at this point in time, our brother, they got 5 kids, they got nothing. Like I said, their chickens died, they got nothing. If there's ever a time that Christians should step up and say, hey, let's help, this should be one of those. But let's be honest, the most that we'll probably raise for Brother David is probably, maybe, if we're lucky, maybe $2 or $3 grand. Maybe. Because we're dealing with Christians. What'd you do?
He freaked out because I put the collar on him.
For you.
He wants a tie, not a collar.
He doesn't want a tie.
Yes, he does.
Here, you going to see our friend?
He says he's a businessman.
He looks like a Cali girl with that on.
But, so I don't understand how Christians, ignore a brother who has a legitimate need. This isn't even just preaching. This is to help him with the loss of his home. Not even his home, but his children and their grandchildren. And yet, next Benedict's, they raised $155,000 or $156,000 for a girl who, if she was a Christian or non-binary, you would never even know that girl's name. They're opportunists, and they saw them, and they come together, and people saw this and go, wow, what an amazing outpouring. What an amazing showing of love. And yet we have a brother here who's out at his house right now. You can hear the kids in the background in the video as they're looking at the rubble and the ashes. And our Christian brothers go, oh, that's sad, it's terrible. How does this happen in Christianity today? And again, I know people can say, oh, yeah, people tune out because, again, we're asking for support for a brother and sister. And yes, we are. Maybe one of you watching can jump on here and explain to me how it is that the LGBT maps can raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to bring awareness to nothing, or so they can go out and literally groom and sexualize kids. And we have a brother who loses his home, and we have to beg and plead with those people who should be more generous than anybody to help our brother and sister out. Maybe somebody can explain how this happened, how we went from the church in the book of Acts to where everybody gave and they helped and they met each other's needs. Nobody had a need for anything. To today, again, I'm not talking about the fakes. There are a lot of phonies out there who take advantage of people, for sure. When your pastor lives in a 30,000 square foot mansion and the congregation is struggling to put food on the table, that's a problem. We're not going to come out here and tell you, oh my gosh, guys, if you give to help Brother David, God's going to give it back to you 1,000,000 times. You're going to become a millionaire. That's not the case. We shouldn't give to get. We should be just good stewards and give because, well, we want to. We want to help our brother and sister out of a sincere desire of our heart, not because we're going to get anything in return. But I just, if you would like to give, go to our website, officialstreetpreachers.com/give. You can also use our Venmo, which is at Official Street Preachers. And for Zelle, message me and I'll give you the Zelle information. But again, I'm just, I can't stand too long because my voice is already my throat's starting to hurt from just doing this 12-minute video here. You can hear my voice. Like I said, I had the flu last week, so that's why I haven't been on much. But I really just want Christians to think about it.
It's fine if you do.
And like I said, we live in a time now where good is evil and evil is called good. But if you have any anything in you that wants to help our brother, believe me, they'll appreciate anything that get, even if it's $10, it doesn't matter. We don't expect a whole lot because, like I said, because after all, again, we are dealing with Christians. And we know, and again, I know people don't like being criticized, but this is the reality. But if you can help, you can go to officialstreetpreachers.com/give. The man lost his house. His grandchildren have nothing. They got some clothes today. We got a bunch of stuff for them. People were able to buy dinner last night and get the hotel room because they're stuck in Borgia there. But this is the time we should come together. This is the time we should show the world that we are better than the LGBT. As of right now, if you look at it, like I said, they're raising money to go out there and turn kids into sex toys. We have a brother who loses every single possession he has. And you just go, well, brother, just pray about it. Well, we did pray about it. And the Lord is saying that brothers and sisters in Christ should be helping each other. So if you're watching this video and you want to help Brother David, officialstreetpreachers.com/give. And let's show the map community. Let's show that there are still Christians who do care about each other and do support one another. It is still going on, but it went south. David, like I said, if you go in the community section of this channel here, you'll see the pictures. On my Instagram, if you go to Instagram, Official Street Preachers, there's a video. They shot a video and pictures that we put together to show you guys what happened. And again, because, we got to prove everything to our brothers and sisters to show you they do have a need. So, again, you guys, I'm going to hop off here. Also, if you would, keep me in prayer for this for my voice and my throat to clear up. It's the last remaining part to this flu. And keep David and his family in prayer, and his children, his grandchildren. And, if you're moved, at all, please, again, officialstreetpreachers.com/give or Venmo at officialstreetpreachers. If you want a Zelle, you can email me, admin@officialstreetpreachers.com, and I'll give you the Zelle information. But if you want to see the pictures again, go to Instagram, Official Street Preachers, or the community section of this channel. Thank you guys so much for hopping on it real quick, and I'll see you guys in the next few days.